Hi, in this video we'll be giving a quick introduction to Informer 5, Intrinsic's brand new self-service business intelligence and reporting tool. Informer 5 now lets you interact with your data more easily than ever. The new Datasets feature makes it easy for you to combine data from many different sources, such as SQL databases, NoSQL, cloud-based data sources, or even your own desktop. You can now drag files like CSV or JSON right into the application. When you enter the datasets area, you can see all the different datasets that you've brought into the system. The first one that we have here is a publicly available dataset containing a year's worth of accident data. So no matter what dataset you click into, Informer 5 will begin by showing you a data grid that gives you a nice overview of the information that is within the dataset. You can sort and group or pin fields within here. It just gives you an easy way to scan the data that's contained inside the data set so that you understand what's in there. However, often, especially for larger data sets, it makes sense to look at things on a more macro level. So one way to do that is with our new pivot table feature. If we click over into pivot, we have a very streamlined user interface that just asks the bare essentials from the user. Namely, to select a field to use as a row field. And so here we've organized all the different fields by their data type, such as text or number. If we click on state, that'll immediately explode the pivot table out and show you a list of all the different states that appear within the data set, and then a list of counts over here on the right. If we pick out a column field like date, date fields will let you aggregate along many different intervals. So let's pick month of year, for example. And now we'll get a pivot table showing states along the left and then the month of the year along the top. And so here I can scroll through the data or sort or click into a cell to look at the rows that are behind that cell. So pivot tables are one way to look at data at a more macro level. Informer 5 also supports a rich set of different types of visuals that you can look at. There are many different ways to visualize information in Informer, so in order to streamline that and make it really easy and unintimidating, we've tried to boil it all down to the bare minimum information from the user. And so to do that, we've brought in a new feature called Discover. So if you click on the magic wand here, you'll see on the right a list of all the different fields that are in the data set, organized by their type. So if we click on state, Informer will immediately begin suggesting different visuals to the user. So the user doesn't have to know what they want to make before they start making things, which is kind of neat. So here we see a nice dynamic chart showing the different states and their counts. And because the field has the word state in it, Informer suggests a map of the United States showing a heat map of the different states and the number of rows within each state. These visuals are very interactive. So here we have the state of Texas in our chart. If I click on that, Informer lets you drill down on the fly. So we can go from state to city, and then just keep going. So I can click on the city here and then drill down by gender. And then finally, for a particular cell, I can click on view data to look at the actual rows that are behind that. Another neat thing you can do right here within one of these charts is to view the data in a map. So if we view the map for our Texas cells, this will bring up a map of the United States. And one where you can zoom in and look at all the different values here within Texas, including all the way down to the street view. So you can see exactly where this incident occurred. And you can even see a pin here on the map, and clicking that pin will show you the details about that record in the system. Another cool feature about the Discover tool is that you can combine selections of fields. So we've got state selected, but now it can go down and let's pick out our date field again. And Informer will now begin suggesting a trend chart where it gives you year by year graph of the values here by date. So if we change the interval, we can change it from year to, say, month. This will give us a stacked bar chart of month over month how things have changed. I can also drill down within the trend chart and look at all the particular values by day. If we start over here and look, here at the bottom we have a location field. So Informer 5 is now location aware. If you have coordinates like latitude and longitude in your data, we let you take advantage of that when visualizing your information. So when we check on the location field, Informer will generate a heat map of the entire United States, showing you how your data is distributed. This works very effectively when combined with our filters. So no matter what you're looking at in the system, you can filter the data by clicking the filter button up here and then selecting from among all the different fields within your data set. So let's go down and pick out Trafficway 1, and we'll select I-95 and I-10, and you can literally see these filters taking effect in the map. Here we can clear the filter, and let's just go ahead and save this data set while we're at it. So as you discover new visuals, you can save them out to the data set so that it remembers them for later. So just as an aside, a lot of times you may not be fortunate enough to have location data within your data set. That's not a problem. If you have addresses and zip codes or postal codes, Informer's new flow feature lets you edit the records as they're brought into Informer, and you can automatically bring in things like location codes just based on the zip code. So if we go down to this visuals tab here, you can see all the different saved visuals that we made. So we just saved this one location map, and you can customize that and zoom in and save it out. And any of these visuals that you make, you can generate an external link. So once you've made these, you can begin sharing them with different users or embedding your content within an intranet page or another application. So we'll click Generate External Link and copy our link, and we'll come up here and paste it in. And you can see how Informer will allow this visual to be used outside of the Informer UI. However, the way that we do security, you can see here there's an authorization token that's passed in that makes sure that that content is shared in a secured way. But otherwise, this is the same interactive visual that you get right there within the user interface. So in addition to exporting and saving visuals, you can also use Informer 5 reports to collect your visuals and combine them in visually pleasing ways. And so one example here is our California accidents dashboard. If I click into that, you can see how I've taken a bunch of different visuals that we've put together and laid them out in one dashboard. And now I can create an external link to this dashboard or share it out to a management team. But otherwise, it's the same interactive set of visuals that you would get, within the data set. So here we can drill down by day, or we can interact with our map here, or drill down within our pie chart. So this is just a very quick introduction to Informer 5. We've barely scratched the surface of the many different things that you can do with an Informer. If you'd like to find out more, I know our sales team would be happy for you to contact them, and they'd be more than happy to schedule a more in-depth demo to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.